You may know Ben Rhodes as he's a local boy, but it's the name on the side of his car that has all the impact tonight. Rhodes returns home to the Kentucky Speedway to compete in the Buckle Up Your Truck 225. He is using this platform to honor fallen LMPD officer Nick Rodman. In March of 2017, Rodman was killed in the line of duty. Rhodes will have a decal with Rodman's name on his car during Thursday's race.
So that actually came through my fiance, her family. They're really good friends with the Rodmans, and I'd been to dinner with them a few times, and they approached me about it, and it just felt like the right thing to do.
Rhodes believes that although he should have honored Rodman earlier, the timing is better this season.
You know, honestly, we should have done it last year, immediately after. But it just never popped in my head. It just wasn't an idea at the time. But truthfully, this is probably better timing. This is a good way to honor his memory.
In addition to honoring the late Rodman, Rhodes gets the opportunity before the race to spend time with the family the young officer left behind.
They're going to be out here today, which I'm really excited about. We're going to take pictures right before the race. Ashley's going to be here, George, Linda. We should have a lot of fun because I don't think they've been to a NASCAR race before either. So they get the whole back scene, behind-the-scenes tour of things.
Rhodes returns home for an all-important race in front of his family and friends, but a win this weekend would be for the Rodmans rather than himself. Alec Jesse, Wave 3 News. I looked into the impact Warren County has had on this up-and-coming star. To Bowling Green has been a long one for Jared Savage, a journey that started at Warren Central High School. Even early on, Jared's coaches saw his incredible potential.
So I knew just from looking at him and his bloodline, and like I said, just watching him, you can just tell he was going to be an unbelievable college basketball player.
William Unseld coached Jared throughout his high school career. His coaching helped Jared prepare for the next level.
Basically, I had to take the high school game and translate it to the college game because he obviously played at South Carolina, so he kind of taught me how to carry myself as a college athlete.
Even with a breakout senior year, Jared received only one Division I college offer. The 2 years of experience at Austin Peay helped prepare him for coming home.
I mean, obviously, we played in the OVC Championship, Conference Championship, won that, and went to the NCAA Championship, so that was a good experience for me as a player. Jared saw a better opportunity back home and transferred to Western Kentucky last season. Jared used the off year to fine-tune his game. I mean, I just got in the gym every day that I could, put it on the floor, working on dribbling, getting my shot better. You can always get better at your game, so I just worked on my game every day. Even many years removed from graduation, Jared and his former coach still keep in touch.
I always check in, make sure they don't need anything, see how everything's going. And of course, with him being here now, it's a lot easier. I went to the Hilltoppers area. I was up there for their red-white scrimmage. I'll be up there this week when they play, so it's a lot easier to keep tabs on him and make sure he's good.
Jared sees his high school coach as a mentor, someone that helped him grow as a player and a person.
I see him as a role model. I mean, he knows everything about me. I talk to him, text him all the time, so we're close.
Reporting for The Extra Point, I'm Alec Jesse. Jared believes his experience will be most important to what he brings to this year's Hilltoppers. Catch Jared and the rest of the WKU squad tomorrow afternoon against Kentucky Wesleyan. Green Valley Elementary School continues its tradition. The New Albany Elementary School's first day is slated for Thursday, where children across southern Indiana will call this new building their new home. With the beginning of the school year near, Green Valley Elementary is ready to open its doors.
Contractors are getting the materials out of the building right now, so we see a lot of activity as they're pulling out, and we'll do final clean tonight, and things will be ready for school on Thursday.
Facility manager Bill Weishart's goal is clear for the building of Green Valley Elementary. He wanted an improved facility that fulfilled the promises made to the public.
So this facility is state-of-the-art, and both the way it's laid out, its technology and its safety features. And so we're, like I say again, promises kept. This school exemplifies what we said we would do.
The new building is expected to take in more students than the old Green Valley.
Did some redistricting. We have some students that formerly went to Mount Tabor that will be joining us. So as enrollment pans out, we may go from say 350 students to 425, maybe more than that.
As for the old building,
well, we've actually in the process right now of taking bids for the demolition of the old Green Valley. So we've already had the pre-construction meeting. We're moving it through the process of demolition. Hope to bring a recommendation to our school board in our August meeting.
The new Green Valley Elementary School will host a grand opening September 9th, celebrating a new and improved facility that hopes to advance education in southern Indiana. Alec Jesse, Wave 3 News.
We now welcome our sports analyst Tori Bowling to the set to discuss the latest NCAA scandals. Thank you, Tori, for joining us tonight. Now these questions are for the both of you. First, do you agree or disagree with the ruling of the University of Louisville?
Well, Alec, I don't know about you, but I don't think there's any question that Louisville's banner should have came down. When it comes down to it, Louisville had paid for improper benefits for these players, and when you do that, you have guys who their eligibility is in question, and when you have ineligible players during a time of an NCAA tournament, that's going to require you to vacate your title. So I don't think there's any question that banner should have came down.
I completely agree. I mean, they had already lost, they'd already lost scholarships. They'd already been put on probation, and the next level up is vacating wins, and then this title happened to be during that time frame. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. The NCAA vacates wins in which payers are ineligible, and that was the case. I mean, even though it wasn't direct money or product, I mean, it was still exotic dancers in the dorm rooms. That qualifies as improper benefits. Thus, I think the banner's got to go down if it's in that time frame, and it was. So I think it was the correct ruling.
Who do you think will be the next victim on NCAA's list?
Well, if you take ESPN's story that Sean Miller paid $100,000 for star freshman DeAndre Ayton, you would think Arizona. But Sean Miller in a press conference today absolutely denied these allegations, basically called ESPN a liar. So it's basically who you believe, either ESPN or Sean Miller. Whose side do you take?
Yeah, it's really interesting. So the time frames don't really add up with the Arizona thing. I definitely think that there's been some stuff going on in Arizona. They've already had a coach arrested, Emmanuel Book Richardson, arrested back in September. You had, Javon Quinterly, one of their top recruits, kind of back out and completely go elsewhere. So the Arizona thing is very ongoing. The time frames haven't added up with the ESPN story, but I think that's something to be looked at. I think Kansas is next up. I really do. Even though they haven't really been implicated in anything yet, they've had some shady recruitments in the past. Billy Preston, you saw, was ineligible. Then he just went over to, I think, Bosnia or somewhere in Europe to play basketball. I thought that was weird. And Andy Miller, the guy that got arrested, Bill Self, a lot of his players end up signing with the agent.
And
so
they're the top Adidas school, and Adidas was at the forefront of all this scandal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, real quick, do you guys believe college payers should get paid?
Well, I think the Olympic method is the best way to do it. I think players should be able to take money from agents if it's not swaying for school, and they should be able to endorse themselves.
Yeah, you should definitely be able to at least make money off your own likeness. Like a guy like Marvin Bagley at Duke, that's his autograph. That's not Duke University's autograph. That's not the NCAA's autograph. They got to let these guys make money off themselves, because at the end of the day, it is themselves. So I think that's definitely the best way to do it, is to let these guys make money off their own likeness.
Completely agree, Tori.
Well, that's all the time we have. Thanks, Tori, for joining us tonight.
The WKU basketball team had yet another disappointing end to its season. I found out how fans will remember the 2018-19 Hilltoppers.
The WKU basketball team came into this season with very high hopes.
There's a lot of high expectations for this team. There's a lot of hype built around them. We expected to make the tournament. We brought in five-star recruit Charles Bassey.
As a result, Josh Thompson and Albert Logan got involved in Rich Rowdy's early in their freshman years.
Me and my friend actually is a booth during Master playing on South Lawn. That's where I originally signed up, and then me and Albert became friends, and I got him to sign up. So that's kind of how we got started.
Contrary to the hype, both freshmen experienced a roller coaster season during their first year with the Rowdies.
We had a lot of ups and downs in the season. We had some bad losses to Indiana State, Troy, and Missouri State. We weren't at our full potential at that time when we played those teams.
As the suspensions mounted up during the season, the frustrations followed.
Probably the beginning, when we had a lot of suspensions, we didn't have our full lineup in the game, be able to play every game. Because the beginning of the season, that's kind of what set the tone, and we kind of went downhill.
Thompson believes the Hilltoppers must prepare for each game equally to avoid the inconsistencies of this season in the future.
Just kind of getting the mindset right for the smaller teams, which we came ready to play against bigger teams, but for the weaker teams, we weren't as focused, and we lost to them.
Head coach Rick Stansbury says his team will be back in the Conference USA Championship next season.
We take no moral victories away from here being in this championship game. None. But there's a lot of teams like to be here. And I think you all understand this. West Kentucky's always going to be a team compete for this. Now, we want to find a way to win it. And winning and losing is a fine line. It's a fine line.
Reporting for the Extra Point, I'm Alec Jesse. Although the season didn't end how they'd hope, both Logan and Thompson will continue their membership with Rick Frowdy's for next season. March may be over, but the madness has yet to conclude. The Final Four in Minneapolis is set. Texas Tech and Auburn reached their first Final Fours in school history with wins over Gonzaga and Kentucky. 1 year removed from becoming the first 1 seed to lose to a 16 seed, Virginia clinched a Final Four berth with a thrilling win over Purdue. Michigan State knocked off Zion Williamson and Duke to give head coach Tom Izzo to his 8th Final Four appearance. Virginia and Auburn will be the first game on Saturday, with Michigan State and Texas Tech following them up later that night. For your Extra Point Sports Minute, I'm Alec Jesse. The Michigan Wolverines rolled past Texas A&M to advance to the West Region Finals on Thursday night. After a lackluster first weekend, the Wolverines shot lights out in this one, going 14 of 24 from downtown. Junior Mo Wagner woke up from his slump, scoring 21 points. The Aggies' front court of Robert Williams and Tyler Davis didn't stand a chance to the Wolverines' hot shooting. Michigan dominates this one, 99-72. In the latter West Region semifinal, the madness ensued. 9-seeded Florida State stunned the 4-seeded Gonzaga Bulldogs. Terrence Mann carried the Noles offense, scoring 18 points. He was the only Seminole that scored in double figures. Down star forward Killian Markfew and the Bulldogs could not overcome the loss. Leonard Hamilton advances to his first Elite Eight in his career, winning 75-60. Thanks for tuning in to your Extra Point Sports Minute. I'm Alec Jesse. The Northern Kentucky Health Board recently established restrictions for student attendance and extracurricular activities at schools where dozens of chickenpox cases have been reported. Now, the governor of Kentucky is weighing in on vaccinations. Governor Matt Bevin was on a local radio show Tuesday where he revealed he deliberately exposed his own kids to chickenpox. In the radio interview, Bevin said he made sure his children got the illness by bringing them around a neighbor who had it. Bevin said, quote, "They were miserable for a few days. It turned out fine." He also said he does not condemn parents who choose to vaccinate and that parents who believe vaccinations are the best choice should go ahead and do it. But Bevin said the federal government should not force vaccinations upon people.